Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Wednesday morning? Hope you are all having a fantastic day. It is beautiful, nice, sunshiny day here in Las Vegas, and I am excited to do a little talking to you today about some microcap gems. I came across a couple of beauties in this last week, and as the title announced, I also want to announce a little gains token giveaway that we're going to be doing here in the very near future. So, folks, just appreciate all of you spending a little bit of time with me this morning. And go ahead and say hello in the chat. You know, if you're excited to hear about some microcap gems today, throw a 1 in the chat. If you have a microcap gem that you would like for me to go over, pull up on CoinGecko, go look at its website, and really do kind of a deep dive into a particular token, please throw a super chat in the YouTube, and we will take a look at your token. Real quick, I just wanted to say thank you to Eric so much for being here. Number 1 in the chat today. Appreciate everybody that is here. We got Dave P. How you doing, Dave? Good to see you, my friend. Man, so I've got a handful of tokens that I'm excited to share with you guys today. But I'm also super excited to hear from you. You know, one of the reasons for that is a couple of weeks ago, we had a gentleman bring a token called C-Swap to the channel. We didn't get a chance to actually buy that token, but it went up like 300% over the next couple of weeks after he brought that to us. And folks, I'm having a little bit of trouble remembering every single person and who brought what token, so I apologize if I don't give you a shout out. But I believe also it was last week that a gentleman named Deadwood here on YouTube mentioned a token called ICP Swap. And I got excited about that because I've been looking into ICP now for the last few weeks. I got to admit, I'm a little bit behind on the ICP train. I'm not exactly 100% sure why. If it reminded me of another token or what, but for some reason, ICP, when I heard the ticker token, it just gave me a bad feeling. And I'm not 100% sure if that there was a token, 2, 3, 4 years ago that I thought was that token. And maybe it is the same token and they've just kind of come out of their funk and are really doing amazing things now. But long story short, I literally just bought the first ICP that I had ever bought within the last 30 days. And so when Deadwood mentioned ICP Swap, I was like, wow, man, that is an interesting sounding token. Let's take a closer look at that. And folks, I ended up getting in on the private sale. In fact, let me click over and let's bring the CoinGecko screen here up onto our screen. And then let me switch tabs over to this ICP swap. So for those of you that are on smaller devices, or if you can't quite see, this is app.icpswap.com. And I'm not going to go into exactly what you got to do to get all the way set up on it today, but I am going to be doing a deep dive video on this token in the near future, I believe. But I had to go in and I created a desktop. I created a desktop wallet. So I have my wallet here. When I go to log into it, it asks me for a 6-digit code. I had to write down my 24-word passphrase and all of that. And you can see here, I don't have much. Like right now, I've only got like 0.8 of ICP because I invested all of my ICP, or a decent little chunk of it, into the actual ICS, the ICPS swap token. And so I ended up investing 28 ICP. and they're down a little bit today. But if we take a peek here, so I got 20% of the tokens at launch, and then I'm getting 20% every 3 months for the next year. So if we go here and we click on max, so our 20% is worth almost 8 ICP right now. So if you multiply 8 times 5, we'd be at about 40 ICP, maybe slightly less, 39 ICP for a 28 ICP investment. Not bad. Not tremendous either, though, especially since there's vesting. But part of the reason that I jumped in on this was I wanted to actually see, how the sales actually worked. And let me see if I can pull that up real quick. I should have had this pulled up sooner. I don't know if here we go. Let me see if this will do it. So let's share this tab instead. And so this is the network nervous system. And you can see here, I do not want to click on this sign in with internet identity. I'll put some of these links in the description, but long story short, they have a launch pad. Okay, so I can at least show you. So I can kind of show you the launch pad. So a few days ago, this ICP swap was one of these current launches. And basically, I clicked on the ICP swap. We'll click on this Yuko DAO. It's done in 3 hours and 59 minutes. You can see here, it's got 102,000 ICP have been put into the pool. It needed a minimum of 100,000. So this is definitely going to happen. And then based on the total amount of ICP that gets basically spent on this ICO, that will determine how many tokens you get. So for instance, if this was to fill all the way up at 500,000 ICP, from what I understand, you would get less tokens per ICP spent. Don't quote me on that. I'm still kind of learning this whole system. But the cool thing about this, folks, is that it has restricted regions like you can see here. I'm not exactly sure what IR and KP and CU and SY are. But one of the things that I found was that my trusty little VPN seemed to work really, really well on one of the other sales that I participated in, because technically it looked as though U.S. citizens were not welcome, but I had my VPN tuned into a country that was, and I didn't have any problems. You don't have to KYC with a passport or an ID. It's just basically restricted by regions. So I think this ICP swap, let me go back to this, this ICP swap platform. I think that this could have some legs. I'm not 100% sure what the market cap and that kind of thing is for it. It hasn't been put on CoinGecko yet. So this is extremely early. You can see here, if I go over to the, it looks like if I want to say that these tokens are worth about 3 cents right now when we first got over here. Or actually, let me go back over to the swap tab, or just the home page here. Maybe not. Can't tell why this isn't going back to the original home page. When we first pulled this up, it was showing the tokens at about a little over 3, going on 4 cents. So I don't want to spend too much time on one particular token, but this is a token that is on my radar. And then, because we're talking about it, ICP itself, Internet Computer, is definitely on my radar also. So let's get back over here to CoinGecko and real quickly just take a peek at ICP for Internet Computer. The other thing about this token that I wasn't quite sure about is it's already ranked, 21. And I was, and it's sitting here with an over $7 billion market cap. And that had me a little turned off. But then the more that I learned about this token and the more that I saw how much the marketplace is excited about this token, somebody that I respect a lot was mentioning not too long ago that they thought this could be a top 3 token. And that kind of got my attention because if you go to just the normal CoinMarketCap homepage, if you look at top 3 token, the market cap here for Tether is 107 billion. So you're talking about, a 10x would get this to, 78 billion. So it'd have to go up, 13x, 14x to get to the top 3. And that's before we've had the bull run. When you think to yourself that Bitcoin here is probably going to at least double, if not triple, now you're talking about to be up into the top 3, you're going to need a market cap of somewhere in the ballpark of, 250 to say 350 billion, which would take ICP all the way up to say a 25 to 30x. Now, I know that here on this channel, we focus on a lot of stuff that's, got the possibility for more than 25x. At the same time, I'm a big proponent of having some stuff in your portfolio that is relatively risk-free, that still has the ability to do a 25 or 30x. I mean, you can get rich fast getting 25 or 30x on your money. We don't need everything to 100 or 1,000x in order to become financially free and be able to get away from our 9-to-5s. So that's all I'm going to say about these 2 tokens. But ICP, Internet Computer, big, massive market cap, number 21, excited about it still. And I think it's smart, kind of like owning a little Bitcoin and a little Ethereum. I think it's smart to add a little bit of ICP to your portfolio when you can. One thing I will mention here real quickly on ICP before I hop off and go to the next token is that it's all-time high. So it's sitting here at about $16 a token, a little under 16. Its all-time high during the last bull market was $700 a token. So to me, that shows me that there's some pretty significant possibilities for this token to do some massive things during this bull market. So let me come back over here to my main page and, just bring myself up and, go back into the chat. We got Dave here. ICP Red Rocket Countdown Liftoff. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, folks, do me a favor, man. I appreciate each and every one of you that are here in the chat, but do me a favor and hop into the chat. Let's get some conversation going here. Does anybody here that's in the chat have anything that they are excited about? Definitely would love to go over some tokens that you guys have on your mind. I'm going to talk about the gains token here. And while I do that, folks, if any of you have something you want me to take a look at, definitely give me a heads up. Let's see what we can do. But this token, the gains token, I have mentioned before on this platform. But part of the reason that we are talking about it again today is I just recorded a video yesterday that's going to go public on Saturday. And we're announcing a huge giveaway. The Gains team was nice enough to donate 1,000 Gains tokens to the channel for doing this video. I'm kind of an ambassador or a coal for the Gains platform. They don't pay me, but when I do videos like this, they do like to shower some love on my community. So they gave me 1,000 tokens, you know, and I'm giving all 1,000 tokens of those, you know, to you. So it's not a sponsored video because they didn't pay me 1,000 tokens to do the video. They just said, hey, we appreciate you doing the video. We'd like to give you some tokens to give away to your community. So on Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that video is going to go live. And when I do this video, you're going to see it's a little bit different because the Gains team just recently launched the Gains Pad. So in the past, it's been a VC platform where they brought private sale and seed sales to their community. They just recently created and launched the Gains Pad, Launchpad. So it's similar to, you know, C2 fund and, you know, BSC pad and trust pad and, you know, pools. And there's too many of them to name. You've got the GPT, you know, GPT chat or not chat GPT, what GPT chain, I want to call it. Solidus is another one that I've talked about that's going to have a launch pad. This ICP swap, you know, is doing a little bit of a launch pad. So there are a lot of launch pads out there, but folks, this Gains token is one that I'm super excited about. Let me run back over to CoinGecko and kind of give you guys a little bit of an idea of why this Gains token is really high up on, you know, my radar. So one of the reasons is because I've been involved with this Gains platform since before they even had a token. Back in 2021, I was investing in private sales through Gains just through their Telegram group. They had a private Telegram group, and if you were in it, they would bring sales to their private Telegram group, kind of similar to what I'm doing now in the Discord group, where they would bring private sales and, you know, and you could buy in. And so if you didn't have, you know, $25,000 minimum, like a lot of these tokens, when I'm talking to the owners and I'm trying to negotiate a private sale deal where I can bring this to my community, they want a 25 or 50 or sometimes even like $100,000 minimum commitment. They don't want to mess around with somebody that's only going to be able to bring $500 or $1,000 or even $5,000 to the table. So Gains was able to, because of their community, get these private sales, and we were able to raise, you know, in some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars through that Gains platform. Then they created their token, I want to say back in about March or so of 2021, and they launched their token, and now you have to own a certain amount of their tokens in order to get in on their private sales. And now you have to own a minimum of 1,000 tokens, a maximum of 50,000 tokens in order to get in on their launch pad. The other reason that I really love this Launchpad, folks, is that they are situated in a country that doesn't mind them servicing U.S. customers. So as of right now, if you live in the United States, you can buy the Gains token and KYC and get in on the Gains pad for as little as 1,000 tokens. They've got a 1,000, a 3,000, and a 10,000 token level. Those are all lottery based, so you get tickets. And if you, for any reason, you miss out on a sale, none of your tickets get drawn, you don't get to buy into a particular sale, then you get double the amount of tickets in the next drawing. So it's very hard to go multiple sales without getting to invest at least something. At the 25 and 50,000 token tier, you're guaranteed the ability to invest in every single project that they bring to the Launchpad. And so that's one of the reasons that I'm doing the pooling group. So as of right now, we've got 25,000 tokens in that pooling group, and we're working towards raising the other 25,000 so that we can get into the top tier. At that tier, you get a little bit of a bonus. So when you get your tickets, you get a bonus on your allocation. And there's some pretty cool things about being at that top tier. And so I've been looking for people that could invest at, say, at least 5,000 tokens, because I don't want to have to try to distribute tokens out to, 100 different people if people are only donating 500 or 1,000 tokens. And I shouldn't use the word donate. When you send me tokens for the pool, they're your tokens. They get staked, and the whole goal is to stake them for 6 months and get the highest rewards. And then we're going to probably go to a 1 to 3 month staking period after that. And then towards the peak of the bull market, we're going to unstake the tokens, and everybody that's got a share of the pool can decide what they want to do with those tokens at that point in time. They'll get sent back to your wallet, and you can decide if you want to keep them and hold them, if you want to sell them. I believe that there's going to be some amazing capital gains on this token. So right now it's sitting at 26 cents, and it's got a little over $14 million market cap. One of its, competitors, like we mentioned, the Seedify token. If we go look at Seedify, Seedify is sitting at a $244 billion market cap. Or excuse me, 244 million versus Gains is 14 million. So Gains has, darn near a 20x in it just to get to here. But if you look, the Seedify Fund token is at $3.84. During the last bull run, it peaked in November of 2021, which was right towards the end of that bull run, at $16.79. So at $16.79, that would take this up to almost $1 billion market cap. So real quick, I think I did this yesterday, but I want to make sure that I'm giving correct numbers. So if we take $1 billion, 1 billion divided by 14 million comes to about a 70x. So what's 70 times 25? I can't even do that math. I know 70 times 30 would be 210. So if it was a 30-cent token right now, that would make it about a $21 token. What's that? Okay, so it looks like currently, if it goes up to $1 billion market cap, it would be a little over a $17 token. So let's say that you bought 5,000 of these right now. 5,000 Gains tokens would cost you roughly $1,500, a little bit less, I guess. At 30 cents, it would cost you $1,500. Right now, you could buy them for a little bit less than $1,500. So if you, 1,500 times 70, it's 1,000 times 70 is 70,000. And then half of that again, is 35. So it'll be a little over 105,000. So theoretically speaking, if I'm right about this token and it does some amazing things during this bull market, it hits a couple of, really big 25, 50, 100 X's on its launch pad, and people start pouring in. Because the other thing about the Seedify token, I just showed you, it's almost $4. You need 100,000 Seedify tokens to get up into its top tier. And that top tier is usually going to get you in the ballpark of $1,500 to maybe $2,500 that you can invest into one of their, platforms, one of their projects. The Gains token with 50,000 tokens is only going to cost you right now around $15,000 or slightly less, $15,000 to get into the top tier. So what I think is going to happen is some of these launch pads that have these huge evaluations, and people that love getting into these projects early, I think that as GainsPad gains some momentum and people start to see the value in it, they would much rather spend 15 grand to get into GainsPad than to spend, 400,000 to get into Seedify. And I think that's going to start driving the price of that token up. So not only do you get an opportunity to invest your percentage, so just, this last sale that we just got in, they did an IDO for a token called New Link. at the $25,000 tier, we were able to invest $600. So not a fortune, but if you would have had 5,000 tokens and been able to invest in that, you would have gotten $120 worth of new link tokens. Now, $120 doesn't sound like a ton on a $1,500, token investment for 1,500 gains, but at the same time, they're going to be doing these launchpad, these token launches multiple times a month. And I think as we get into the more bullish part of the bull market where Bitcoin's up at 80, 100,000 or more, there's probably going to be 2 or 3 opportunities a week to be investing in these things. And during the last bull market, I can't even count how many times I would invest in a private sale. I would get 10 or 15 or 20% of the tokens at launch. And these tokens would 10 or 20 or 30 or 50x. And not only would I get my whole investment back on that first, batch of tokens, but a lot of times I would be in profit mode and still have 75 to 90% of the tokens coming to me over the next handful of months that I could be selling and almost creating like a monthly income with. So folks, I highly recommend, not financial advice, but this is just what I've done and what I think is an amazing way to turn a little bit of money into a massive amount of money. In fact, in the video that's coming out on Saturday, I basically show you how you could take $1,000 bill and potentially turn that into $1 million, 1,000x during the next bull market through this gains platform by buying, 1,000 tokens or 3,000 tokens, getting into the launch pad, taking what's left of your $1,000 and putting it into the first few IDOs that they do. And then as you sell your tokens, when they launch and you sell those tokens, you get that money back. You start then putting that into the next set of IDOs, and then you just kind of roll it up. As you build up some more money, you could buy more gains tokens and get into the higher tiers. And like I say, I think it's a really super incredible opportunity that a lot of people don't understand the magnitude of the potential here with the gains token and the gains launchpad. Whew. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick breather here. I was telling my son when we did this one last week that you guys probably think I'm a bunny on crack sometimes. I swear to goodness, guys, I've never done an ounce of cocaine ever in my life. So this is all just pure excitement and enthusiasm and a love for being with you guys and doing these videos. So I hope you are enjoying it. Dave says that he does the ICP plug wallet, so that's a good one. We got looking at Valar. Eric has been looking into DFIT and Morpheus Labs. Morpheus Labs, that definitely rings a bell. I think that one has been around for a little bit. We've got the MIC token by DIY. What else do we got here? Mickey meme token with a movie utility. Interesting. What network is that Mickey meme token on? Is that on Ethereum or Solana, Binance Smart Chain? What network? Can you get it? Can you get into it relatively cheap, or gas fees wise? Can you get in on it cheap? Go ahead and let me know in the chat. So, folks, I also wanted to let you know that any super chats that come in today are also going to go towards the future giveaway that we're doing on Saturday, because the other thing that I am going to do that I announced right in the middle of my video on Saturday, my guys, my editor and my son, they didn't even realize that I was going to do this. On top of the 1,000 tokens that we are giving away on Saturday, I am also going to personally take $100 out of my pocket, and I'm going to pick a winner along with the token winners, and I'm going to let you choose what IDO you would like to have that $100 invested in out of one of the next 2, 3, 4, 5 IDOs that come up on the gains pad. So help me fund that, folks. throw a $2 or $5 super chat in there. I swear we're not going to waste that money. I joke around. I heard this when I was a young man. I was probably, I don't know, 18, 19 years old, played poker, and I was playing poker somewhere, and this old timer said something like, he made a bet on the river, and I was thinking about whether or not I was going to call his bet, and he looked over at me and he said something like, go ahead and call, Sonny. If I win, I promise I'm not going to waste your money on anything like food or rent. I'll be using that money for gambling and booze and women. And, and I got quite a chuckle out of that. And I think I threw the money in the pot. And of course he had the best hand and won the money. But I always, I love that little sign. So folks, those super chats that you guys give me, they're not going to get wasted on food or rent. They're going to go right back into the channel and into these giveaways. So if you've got a token that you would really like me to throw some, deep dive on, shoot us a super chat, man. It's very much appreciated. Once again, please hit that like button, folks. I don't know how many viewers we have on here versus how many likes, but it's free to hit that like button. So we should always have as many likes as we do views. So please hit that like button if you haven't. And let me go over one other token here that I have been checking out lately that I am pretty excited about. Let me get over here to my CoinGecko again. And folks, we're going to probably cut this one slightly short today because we also are doing a little bit of fun stuff today that we don't normally have on the agenda. So once this live stream is over, going to be kind of taking a break. We recorded, like I said, we've got a great video recorded. It's actually going to hit on Friday. For those of you that are in the private section of our Discord group, you get that video on Friday, and then it goes public on Saturday. So this token is the token that we featured in Saturday's video. It's called AREODROME Finance. And I just want to share it real quick because it's, once again, it's not what I would consider to be a microcap gem. It's at a $732 million evaluation. It's sitting at 140th. But this token is backed by Coinbase and Brian Armstrong. It's basically the #1 DEX on the Base network. And you can see here, folks, that it's gone up, almost 200% in the last 30 days. When I first started talking about this token, it was sitting at 80 cents. And when I first heard about this token, it was sitting at about 30 or 40 cents. And it took me a while to get into it. This token, I believe, is going to do massive things in the upcoming bull market. You've got other DEXs out there like Uniswap and PancakeSwap and, Radium for Solana and so on and so forth. I believe that this AREODROME Finance is going to be the #1 DEX on the Base network. And I'm not going to take credit for its recent price jump, but I will just put this out there that on Saturday, when this video launched, the token was only at $1.37. So had you ran out and bought this token right when you saw the video, you would already be up, 30, 40% on this token. Now, I will caution you guys, nothing usually ever just goes up forever. And this thing has been on heck of a run. This just goes, 30 days. But if you go back out, if you go out 90 days, because I do want to make sure that you guys aren't FOMOing in. If you go back out 90 days, this thing was all the way down at 10 cents on February 23rd. So that's not even March 23rd, April 23rd. That's not even 2 months ago. So it's already done, an 18x. In the last less than 2 months. I always get a little bit nervous about that because I'm afraid that, if something happens and after Bitcoin halves and we kind of lose some momentum potentially, once again, not financial advice. I don't know what's going to happen with Bitcoin. We're in uncharted territory. The waters of Bitcoin are muddied because we have this exchange traded fund that is buying up Bitcoin. We got financial institutions coming into the market. So during the last bull run in 2020, the halving didn't really create anywhere near as much as excitement as it has this time around. In fact, Bitcoin didn't reclaim its previous all-time high in 2020 until 6 months or so after the halving. So at the peak of the bull market in 18, Bitcoin topped out at around 20 grand. I don't believe that Bitcoin hit $20,000 until late 2020, December, maybe even could have been January of 2021. And it halved in May of 2020. So for about 6 months after the halving, we were just kind of going sideways, nothing too exciting happening. That's obviously different this time around because we already broke through the previous all-time high before this halving happened. So I don't have my crystal ball. I don't know for sure what is going to happen. What I normally do, and the next token that I'm going to show you is kind of one that I did this with, is if I've got a chunk of money, let's say that I wanted to invest $1,000 into AREODROME, what I might do is take 25% of that and throw $250 into AREODROME, and then I'll keep an eye on it. And I'll listen to guys like, Sam Price of Crypto Lifer, because he talks about AREODROME on his channel, and he'll give you some insight. He'll look at these charts and he'll say, hey, AREODROME is sitting at $1.88. It looks like it's poised for a move up to, say, $2.32. If we can get AREODROME, to break up above, say, $1.98 and hold, then I think the next step is $2.32. If AREODROME breaks to the downside and say it goes down to $1.69, then I think we're going to see it drop all the way back down to its previous, resistance at $1.37. And what I do with that information, folks, is I'll buy in at $1.88, and then I'll wait. If it goes up to a couple of bucks and looks like it's on its way to that 230 that he mentioned, then I'll throw another 25% into it. And same thing the other way around. I don't go crazy if it looks like it's going to head back down to $1.37 and try to sell it all off real quick. I just wait for it to drop down to that $1.37, and then I deploy another 25% of my capital. So if I bought it at $1.88 and then I buy it at $1.37, I'm in it roughly, call it $1.50 something or $1.60 at that point. Dollar cost averaged my average down to $1.60, and then I'll continue to do that until I've got the whole $1,000 deployed. But the reason that I mentioned AREODROME Finance is because I came across another token. It may have been, I don't remember if, no, it wasn't. My son actually found this token. So the other day, my son was doing some research on YouTube, and he found this token. And so I want to give him the credit, give credit where credit is due. I'm going to have to pull this token up on CoinMarketCap because as of right now, it is not on CoinGecko yet. Okay, awesome, man. It sounds like we got a super chat. So I will pop over and do the super chat here in just a quick second. I'm just going to pull this up and show it to you super fast. And then we'll run over and do that super chat. So this token is called, let me get over and share this tab. So this token is owned by Starter Labs. You can see the website here is starter.xyz. The ticker is BUIDL. And this is going to be a launch pad on the Base network. I know you guys are getting tired of hearing about launch pad tokens, but this sucker just launched. It's sitting at about a $50 million market cap, and you can buy it right on the Base network through Uniswap on Base. In fact, let me show you that super fast. So you go to Uniswap and you toggle this to the base network, you can see here right now one build is worth about 23 cents. I've just got a little bit of them. I bought 125 of them. This is a token that I think I'm going to put into my 100 or my $1,000 to $100,000 bankroll challenge. I like what I see about this token, but let's get back out to the main page here and check out our super chat. Hey, Dave, thank you so much, man. Really, really appreciate that. So you want to take a look at a token called VLR or VLR. We shall go take a peek at that real quick, folks. So let's all run over to CoinGecko and see what we got here. VELAR. All right, for those of you that have been watching this channel for the last few weeks, I do have a little bit of a process. And so I'll go through that with you guys real quick as we break down this token. So when I pull up a token, one of the first things that I want to look at is its market cap. So I love this. This is definitely a microcap gem, $17 million market cap, might as well be zero. I mean, it's still not presenting. I know what I did. We got to do this, Bradley. There we go. Now we got it rolling. So this token here is called VLR. It's ranked 1236th. And right now it's got a $17 million market cap, which, as I just mentioned, is extremely, extremely low. Anything that's down under 50 million, under 25 million has the potential to do some amazing multiples. The second thing that I try to take a look at, folks, is its fully diluted market cap. And what that's going to tell me is that the number of tokens in circulation, see, as we can see here, it's got 9 million circulating tokens. That means there's 9 million tokens out of the 100 million tokens, or wait a minute. No, it just updated. 59 million tokens, excuse me, my eyes. 59 million tokens out of, it looks like 1 billion tokens that are in circulation. So that doesn't necessarily raise a huge red flag, but as I mentioned in previous videos, I would want to figure out what the vesting schedule of this other 950 million tokens is. If it's, how often those are going to be hitting the market and what percentage of them are going to be hitting the market. So some of these tokens will do 5% every 3 months for 3 years. And with vesting like that, I'm not too worried about the fact that the circulating supply is low compared to the total supply. On the other hand, if these guys are, say, doing 10% of the token a month for the next 9 months, that would give me a little bit of concern because, let's see what the price of it is here. We can see here that its all-time low was about 5 days ago. So this is a token that looks like it's relatively new to the marketplace. Its all-time high was about 38 cents. It's down 23% on April 8th. So just basically 2 days ago. So what that tells me is that most likely this was a token that just launched to the public fairly recently. And so I would definitely want to go do some research and check out that vesting schedule. So let's see what the other thing that I'm always curious about is where can we buy these things at? So it looks like it's on Bybit, which if you are not U.S. citizen and can KYC, Bybit is a great exchange. Gate.io is another one that a lot of people use. I'm not super familiar with it. For whatever reason, I have never used Gate.io. So I don't know if you can use it as a U.S. citizen with a VPN or not. It's obviously here on Uniswap on Ethereum, and then Biloxi is a very small exchange. If I was going to be buying tokens on Biloxi, I would probably buy them and then immediately transfer them over to my own private wallet. And in most cases, I would recommend, if you're buying tokens on an exchange like this, try to get them off to your own private exchange as quickly as possible. How do you feel about Valar today? It looks like it's got some decent sentiment. And now, you know, after looking at all of the numbers, you might ask me, well, why are you looking at all of that before you even know what Valar is and what it does? Well, because, folks, in my opinion, what it does and what it is somewhat secondary to these numbers. If the numbers don't line up, if the numbers don't make sense, then, you know, it's hard for me to want to jump in, even if it's got, you know, a great idea. But it's very important at this point to go ahead and take a look at what this token does, and let's see if it's got some real world value. Because something else that you're not going to hear a ton out of me about meme coins. I like meme coins to a certain extent, and I missed out in the last bull run on some of the huge pumps, because I got to admit that in the beginning of meme coins, I was kind of I was against them. I just, no real world utility. You know, I got buddies that were, you know, buying Dogecoin at 50, 60, 70 cents, thinking that it was going to go crazy. I had a guy try to tell me that Dogecoin was going to perform better than Polkadot. And it just, you know, and he was wrong. Polkadot performed better. But at the same time, there was a lot of money to be made back in 21 on some of these meme coins, and it's proven itself out that there's a ton of money to be made in this market. But those are more tokens where you're looking to buy and sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. And I'm not a huge trader. I might not have made it clear, but most of these tokens that I'm talking about on this channel, and, like, you know, for these microcap gems, there's still tokens that I'm planning on buying and holding all the way through to, you know, the peak of the bull market. Now, I might take a little profit out at times. I always, you know, you can never go broke taking profits. So if I buy a token and it 2, 3, 4x's, even if I think it's got a 50 or 100x in it, I always think it's smart to pull out a little profit. You can never lose if you pull out your initial investment. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I'm never going to sell a token for the next year, but in general, I'm never going to sell 100% of my tokens unless I just really get, you know, disenchanted with the project. They do something stupid. It looks like it might go to zero. They've had some horrible news. Most of the tokens that I'm recommending on this channel to you are tokens that you can buy and almost forget about for the next 6 to 12 months, and then wake up and see whether they're worth 10 or 25 or 50 or 100 or 1,000x more than you bought them for today. With that, let's go over here and take a look at its website. I will say something real super quick. So this is interesting. What kind of network is that? It shows like on an ETH network, but I'm not familiar with what network that is. So if you're still watching the stream, DIY, what network is that on? What? So it looks like it's Ethereum based, but it just kind of like the build token or AREODROME are kind of Ethereum, but they're on the base chain, so you can buy them cheaply. It looks like, okay, it's on stacks, okay? So we'll have to take a closer look at that. So that should make it much more affordable to buy than if it was just straight on Ethereum, like an ERC20. So anyways, let's go down here and take a look at its website. So Valar, DeFi liquidity protocol on Bitcoin, okay? Swap with minimal fees and earn block rewards on the most secure blockchain. Awesome, man. How did you hear about this token, DIY? Is this something that you invested in the private sale? Are you part of the team? Or did you just, kind of come across it by accident? How did you hear about this token? Wait for him to respond as I kind of just go down through the website here and take a closer look. Total volume, a couple 100,000, not great, but not horrible either. Unlocking Bitcoin's true potential. DeFi is coming to Bitcoin. Upcoming SBTC launch by Stacks on Bitcoin will unlock at least 500 billion potential liquid value of Bitcoin into financial protocols. Valar Liquidity Protocol is your gateway to launch and trade tokens on Bitcoin blockchain and earn rewards by providing liquidity to the pools in pool assets. Okay, it's got a white paper here. I don't have time to go down through the white paper, but why Bitcoin? This is all true. Bitcoin is the longest running blockchain. Security, absolutely. Bitcoin is, one of the most secure networks, if not the most secure. Total value locked on the Bitcoin network is over $1 trillion, around 45% of the crypto market. That is very true. Stacks and other L2s are redefining decentralized finance by developing a robust layer 2 infrastructure to unlock value locked in Bitcoin while maintaining finality on Bitcoin blockchain. Very, very interesting DIY. See if, let me see. That is not the one. Wait a second. Oh, it's on Stacks. Just research the team. That isn't the one. MIC can be purchased via Uniswap. So that is the wrong token. Is that what you're telling me altogether? So the ticker is MIC. Is that what I need to go look up on CoinGecko? DIY? Well, I wish you guys would make up your mind. I'm looking at the chat. Dave says Valar is the one. Oh, wait, you guys maybe you're talking about different tokens. Okay, different tokens. All right, Dave is the one that had the super chat here, so we're good. It's on Stacks. Just research, not part of team. Okay, cool, man. I appreciate you bringing that. What are you most excited about this token, Dave? Is there anything that really got you interested in it, or are you just really is this something you're really excited about and you just kind of wanted to get my opinion on it, or is it something that you're kind of iffy on and you wanted to see what I thought about it? I'm kind of curious, on your level of excitement, if you've bought any of it yet, or what what you're thinking. So real quick, while he's talking, I want to go look at the Stacks token, if Stacks has a token. There's so much going on in crypto. Excuse my ignorance. The word Stacks has, it rings a bell, but I'm not super familiar with this protocol. I've been spending a lot of time looking into the base network lately, and you kind of, in crypto, especially as an influencer, sometimes you got to kind of pick a lane. You can't, look into everything. So this Stacks network, let's take a quick peek at it. It is sitting at, obviously it's a big player in the game. It's got over a $4.5 billion market cap, sitting at about $3 a token, all the way up from a little over 4 cents back in 2020. So it's almost reclaimed. In fact, its all-time high was 19 days ago. So it has actually reclaimed its previous all-time high from the last bull market. So that's a pretty exciting sign. There's a lot of tokens out there that have not come anywhere near reclaiming their all-time high. So this is something where, once again, you guys as viewers are able to bring things to the community that I would have maybe never found this token if it wasn't for you, Dave. And this is definitely one that we are going to put on our radar. I'm writing it down as we speak, and I'm writing down your name too, Dave, so that next week when we come back to this thing, if it's one that I decided to purchase, you're definitely gonna get the credit. So folks, this is one that I definitely think is worth taking a look at. The Stacks network appears to be making some big waves in the market. It looks like you can buy the Stacks token on, MEXC, which I like. Not that this isn't a commercial for Stacks. I mean, we're back, let's go back and talk about Valar. but definitely from what I've seen so far, this is something that definitely has piqued my interest. And let's go take a peek at their socials. I'm always talking about, once you kind of got an idea on a token, go look at their social media. So let's get over here to their Twitter account. Looks like they've got change the view again. I didn't realize I was back to the full screen. Oh, no, we're on the right one. All right, guys. So this is their Twitter account. 37.5 thousand followers. That's a solid amount, not like, huge. But one of the other things that I like to do, followed by 11 others that I follow. So I like to go through here and see, Jade from Metis is taking a look at this. BMS is a person that's got a big crypto presence. Coach K Crypto is also somebody that I have a lot of respect for. And of course, Ran Nooner is, world, famous, YouTuber. And, different people have different opinions of him. But that's really, a good sign. I don't think you'll be able to see it on your screen. The Telegram doesn't pop up really on here, but I'm going to run over and take a quick peek at their Telegram. Yeah, I mean, they've got, it looks like a little over 8,000 members on Telegram. So, yeah, man, I give this a thumbs up, Dave. I would certainly be open to the possibility of buying a little bit of this token. So, what do we got to do? We'd have to just add the Stacks network to MetaMask. Is that the process? Add the Stacks network to MetaMask and then get some funds over to it in order to buy. Let's go back over here to the CoinGecko page, and then markets. So once again, you could either go straight through Uniswap. Now it looks like it's on Ethereum here on Uniswap, but this is definitely appreciated. I think I'm going to take a closer look at this one and potentially pick up a few of these tokens. Does anybody else have any tokens that they are excited about and that they would like to have me take a look at before we go enjoy the rest of our Wednesday? I love Wednesdays. A lot of people hate Wednesdays. It's still the middle of the week. And if you got a regular 9 to 5, you still got a couple of days left. But, gives you an opportunity to dream about financial freedom, guys. When you get rid of that 9 to 5 here in 6 or 12 months, the cool thing about Wednesday is it's like a Saturday. And so is Tuesday and Thursday, folks. So when you don't go to work for somebody else, every day is a Saturday. You kind of forget what one day is from another. Dave, you love Las Vegas, man? Well, I love meeting my community members. So please feel free to stay in touch, hop in the Discord group, and let me know if you come into Vegas on any type of a vacation here one of these days. Would love to connect, man. Go down to the Strip and have a cup of Starbucks, or if you play some poker, we could go play a little 1-2 or 1-3 no limit at a casino or something. Would love to meet you. And that goes for all of you. Anybody here that lives in Vegas and you want to connect, you want to get together, man, I would love to meet you guys. As the channel continues to grow, we're going to probably start doing some meetups and stuff in different places. So we'll definitely get an opportunity to, all hang out a little bit more often in the, not too distant future. Channel's growing fast. Crypto's growing quick. Hopefully all of you guys have had an exciting last couple of months and made some money, seen your portfolios grow. And I think that crypto is crypto. We're going to still have some ups and downs. Bitcoin has inherently, even during bull markets, had multiple 25 to even 40% retractions. So don't get caught by surprise when that happens, folks. I'm not saying that it's going to happen. but don't be freaked out if it does. During the last bull market, Bitcoin ran all the way up to $40,000, and then it retraced all the way back to between 25 and 27 grand before it made its push all the way up to its new all-time high of $64,000 in May. And then, of course, June and July were awful, and then we got back up to 68,000 in November. But during that great big run from about November, December of 2020 up to May of 2021, where it went from, say, around 10,000 to 64,000, it had 2 or 3 different retracements of at least 20%, and the one that was more like 40%. And you go back to the bull market of 2018 going into 2019, you will see the same thing. And so I'm not saying that that's going to happen with the exchange traded fund and the different things that are in place. Maybe we don't get a huge retracement like that. If we do, it's something that you should get excited about, though, because it just gives you an opportunity to buy a lot of these tokens that some of us believe we might never get an opportunity to buy some of these tokens at some of these prices, or some of the prices, like even that the AREODROME that I was talking about. If Bitcoin did a 40% retracement, what is, 40 times 7 is 28. So that'd take it to like what, 70 minus 28 is 42. Now, I would be astounded if Bitcoin went back to 42. I really would. But let's just say that somehow we got a 30-40% retracement and Bitcoin ran back to 50 grand, 45 grand, somewhere like that. The altcoins are going to get absolutely smashed. You're probably going to see a lot of the altcoins lose 75% of their value if something like that were to happen. But folks, instead of getting disappointed and upset that your $100,000 portfolio just turned into 25 grand, you should view it as an opportunity to jump in and buy those tokens that you loved at prices that really we may never get to see again. So I, for one, I don't want to be the guy here. I'm not rooting for Bitcoin to have a 40% retraction, but at the same time, it's not going to change my life, because I'm looking at 6 months, 12 months, 18 months from now, what I'm going to have accumulated. How do I get to $10 million portfolio in the next year? And theoretically speaking, it's going to be much easier for me to get to 10 million if we had a huge correction and I was able to deploy a bunch of capital back into these tokens at prices that they were at 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. So just look at it as a buying opportunity if we do get a retracement. On that note, we very well may not get any type of a crazy correction, but you are still going to see these 10 to 20% fluctuations as we make our way up to that $100,000, $120,000, $150,000, $200,000 levels. In fact, I personally think that when we hit 100 grand, that's a big number, and psychologically 100 grand is going to be a little bit hard to break through. Now, don't quote me on that. We'll go back here in 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 months and it just smashed right through 100,000. I'll be man enough to admit that I was wrong, but around 100,000 is a spot where I certainly think we could see one of those 25% or 20% retracements. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Bitcoin got rejected at 100 and ended up coming back down to 75 or 80 before it went back up and did something crazy. So Sal, welcome, Sal. Appreciate you, man. Looking forward to connecting with you. I've been meaning to respond to your email and actually set up a time for us to get together here one of these evenings. That is a fantastic question. And all I can tell you, Sal, is in previous bull markets, the halving didn't have a ton of effect on the altcoins for roughly 6 months after the halving. So I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I knew what kind of effect it was going to have on it. nobody knows for sure what is going to happen. If you would have asked me 3-4 months ago when Bitcoin was going to break its previous all-time high of 67, 68,000, I would have told you towards the end of 2025. When Bitcoin got to around $40,000 a few months back, I thought, okay, still, 2-3 months from the halving, it's probably going to go retrace back down to into the 20s. And then it went up to 50,000. And I'm like, well, it can't keep going up. It's never in the history of Bitcoin, it's never surpassed its previous all-time high previous to the halving. So at 50,000, I thought it was going to get smashed. At 60,000, I thought it was going to get smashed. In fact, I did a video a little over a month ago with Sam Price, Crypto Lifer, and Piper from Piper Academy, and Alex O and Cowboys of Crypto. And we did a Bitcoin price prediction video. And all three of the guys on there that were kind of technical analysis guys said that we were going to break through the previous all-time high in the next week or two, when Bitcoin was sitting at, I want to say, around 58 grand or something at the time of that recording. And even though all of those experts said that was going to happen, I still really didn't believe it. If you would have asked me if I had to bet money on it, I would have bet money that Bitcoin was going to retrace, not go and smash through its previous all-time high and go up into the 70s. And so I'm man enough to admit that I don't for sure know what is going to happen in the short term. I do have 100% faith and certainty that over the next 12 months, Bitcoin and the altcoins are going to go absolutely parabolic and create life-changing wealth for those of us that are got in and are stay true to the plan. But my guess, if you made me put a guess, my guess is that we're going to kind of get a little bit of a stale market for the next few months. I don't think we're going to have a huge upside. I don't think we're going to have a huge downside. I think we're going to kind of see a channel where Bitcoin hangs out between around 70, 72 down to, say, 62 to 63. And I think that the altcoins are going to kind of follow along with that. I do think that you've got a few months to accumulate before we really start seeing the incredible effects of the Bitcoin halving taking place. But once again, folks, this exchange traded fund is creating a demand for Bitcoin that we've never seen previously. And so it's hard to tell when Bitcoin halves, if these exchange traded funds and the Fidelities and JP Morgans and the Charles Schwabs of the world are needing to buy this to get it into their investors' portfolios, and this exchange traded fund is needing to buy it. I could just be totally crazy, not crazy, but just totally wrong. We could see Bitcoin shoot up to $100,000 in the next month or two. It's really one of those things where nobody really knows. And the best thing that you can do, in my opinion, once again, not financial advice, is to get some money into the market now in case it goes crazy. Leave some money on the sidelines in case it has a big dip so that you can buy in and you're not. So that's another, little alpha here. So during the last bull market, I had about a $300,000 portfolio, but I didn't have any money sitting on the sidelines. And every time it took one of those 20-30% dips, and all of a sudden, I turned 300 turned into 250 or 230 almost overnight. It was more frustrating for me than it should have been because I didn't have any money to invest. So the number on the computer screen didn't bother me. Like, I didn't care whether it said 300,000 or even 100,000. I didn't care, because my goal was to break up into the millions long term, which I did. But what I got frustrated about was not having any money sitting on the sidelines that I could invest and take advantage of some of those dips. So I think the altcoins are going to do phenomenal over the next year. And what I would recommend is just getting a list of 5 or 10 really good altcoins, some that are a little bit higher up in the market cap, that are a little bit more stable, that maybe are just going to get you, a 5 or 10x, and then get a little bit of a list of altcoins that have the potential to do 25, 50, 100x and above. Get into some private sales, get in on a gains token, the Launchpad, some stuff like that, be able to buy some speculative stuff. Like I mentioned it in that gains video, that I was able to buy $1,000 worth of a token called Blocktopia in the private sale through gains. $200 worth of that token turned into $50,000. I was able to sell the first $200 worth that I got of that allocation for 50 grand. Then the bear market hit, and it's right now it's sitting at maybe like a 10 or 20x. But I've let the tokens accumulate, and now I'm waiting, hopefully during the bull market, that Blocktopia gets its stride and gets back up to 100, 2, 3, 4, 500x. At its peak, it was over a 1,000x from our price in the private sale. So that's what I would recommend doing, and then just buy $25 a week, $50 every 2 weeks, $100 a month, $200 a month, $500 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever you can afford. Just be getting it in there. Just keep accumulating, and don't worry too much about the pumps and the dumps. Just keep sticking to your plan, buying a little bit every time you can. And I think you're going to wake up in a year from now extremely happy about your financial situation. Hey, Vanesh, thanks for joining, man. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And once again, folks, so much for going short today. We've been a little over an hour, and it's been a fantastic hour. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks again, Dave, for the super chat. And folks, get in and make a comment on that video on Saturday. Please like the video, get it out to that YouTube algorithm. For those of you that are brand new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And once again, we're doing a huge giveaway on Saturday. We're giving away about $250 worth of gains tokens. And we're also going to be getting a winner for a $100 allocation of a Launchpad sale that the Gains Pad is going to be doing. You're going to get an opportunity to look at the next 2 or 3 or 4 that launches that GainsPad is doing. Tell me which one you want to get into, and I'm going to make it happen. We're going to get $100 into a private sale Launchpad opportunity for one of our viewers too, man. We love you. We appreciate you. And we just thank you so much for your support. And we will see you very, very soon. Have a great day. God bless.